Hello everyone, today I will tell you about the movie Stillwater. Enjoy watching. The film opens with Bill Baker, an oil rig worker from Stillwater, Oklahoma, who has just lost his job, and his other part-time job. He goes to his ex-mother-in-law, Sharon, to help out. Sharon is sick and using an oxygen tank. They have breakfast and she gives him a few things to take to his daughter. Bill heads to his daughter's room and picks up some photos of her. At the airport, he spots a gold necklace in a gift shop. Bill then flies to Marseille, France, and checks into a hotel where everyone seems to know him. He clearly stays there often. Bill packs a package and sends it to the prison to report his daughter, Allison, who has been convicted of murder. The flight log shows that he has visited several times. Allison has been incarcerated for years after being accused of murdering her girlfriend, Lena, who was killed while Allison was overseas. Allison says that Lena was with someone else that night, a guy named Akeem. She gave Bill a letter to her lawyer and made him promise to deliver it. He agrees and goes to see the lawyer, but she is not there. He decides to leave the letter and give it to her in person. Back at the hotel, Bill notices a short girl, Maya, sitting by the door of the next room. It appears to be locked, so he takes her to the front desk to get another key. Bill later meets with Allison's lawyer, who reads the letter. She tells Bill that Allison has exhausted all her legal options, and there is nothing more she can do. She must accept her sentence. Bill returns to the hotel, and Virginie comes to thank him for helping Maya. Bill learns that she speaks English. She offers to help Bill if he needs anything, and he asks her to translate Allison's letter. Virginie agrees and realizes who Bill and Allison are when she reads it. The letter mentions that one of Allison's professors heard someone bragging about stabbing someone and getting away with it. She thinks that he killed Lena and asks her to investigate the case because Bill can't handle it on his own. She asks him not to leave her in this terrible place. She has lost 5 years of her life. Bill returns to Lepark's office to ask for help, but is told that Lepark is finished with the case. They give Bill information for private investigators, which enrages him and he leaves. Bill tries to talk to other lawyers, some of whom barely speak English. He finally meets a private investigator named DeRosa, who reads the letter. DeRosa, a former cop, explains how hard it will be to find this guy if he's already on the run, and then get a DNA sample to match to the crime scene. It will be very expensive. Bill grins and leaves. Bill meets with Allison, who is eager to hear what Lepark said, not to disappoint her. He tells her that Lepark is looking into it, and Allison is thrilled. At the hotel, Bill gets help from a staff member to track down the professor's contact information. In the morning, he goes to the university and meets with the professor, who gives him the contact information of a girl who heard a tip on Akiyima. The professor says the girl does not speak English and will not help with translation, but believes Allison is innocent. Bill gets Virginia and Maya's address from the hotel staff and buys a toy for Maya. He informs Virginia of what is happening, and she agrees to contact the girl for him. After talking to the girl, she tells him that she is ready to meet him the next day. She also agrees to go with Bill to meet the girl and translate. They chat on the way. Virginie is an actress and does not have a very good relationship with Maya's father. Bill reveals that Allison's mother committed suicide and Allison was raised by her grandmother while Bill worked on oil rigs. When they finally meet the young woman, she brings a friend who aggressively tells her not to tell anything. The situation escalates, and Virginie advises Bill to back off. Virginie points to the apartment complex where Akeem lives, but says they are unlikely to talk to a stranger since they are not from the area. Meanwhile, Allison tells Bill that during a parole meeting, she saw someone from Lepark's office who seemed unsure about her case. Bill says he will take care of it. Virginie and her friend look for photos from the party where the confession was heard and print them out, thinking they may be of Akeem. She asks Bill to take the photos to Allison so she can identify Akeem, but he refuses because he does not want her to know that Lepark is not working on the case. Virginie is puzzled, but asks if anyone else knows what Akeem looks like. Bill remembers that the bar owner saw him, so Virginie and Bill head to meet him. The bar owner, who is quite racist, says he will lie and say that any of the kids in the photos could be AQIM. Virginie is outraged and leaves, refusing to deal with him. She and Bill get into an argument. She is angry at his lack of response to racism, while he is focused on getting his daughter out of jail. Virginie decides she will not help anymore and leaves. Sharon calls Bill, asking how much Lepark will cost now that she says Allison mentioned hiring her again. Bill's answers do not make sense, so Sharon says she will call Lepark herself while Bill begs her not to. With time running out, Bill visits Allison, who is confused and hurt by what is really going on. He simply asks her to look at the photos to find Kim, and eventually she spots him. Bill takes the photos and goes to the project site himself. He asks questions and shows him a photo of Akeem, but no one wants to help. Eventually, a group of young guys start harassing Bill, and it quickly turns into a fight. They end up beating him up. Akeem shows up, and one of the guys shows him a photo of Bill and says he's looking for him. Virginie goes to the hospital to see Bill, who is recovering. He tells her he only had one contact and he took advantage of it. Bill goes to Allison and admits that LeParc won't help, so he took matters into his own hands and found Akeem. Allison is furious and asks why he didn't take the photo to the police because she thinks Akeem has already escaped. She is upset and tells Bill she never wants to talk to him or see him again. 4 months later, Bill is still in France, working in construction. He lives with Virginie and pays rent. He picks Maya up from school and spends a lot of time with her, even letting her help him renovate the basement. Meanwhile, LeParc contacts Bill and tells him that Allison has been approved for parole for 1 day a month and will no longer be looked after. Bill signs the papers to look after her. He asks Virginie if Allison can visit him, and she says it's okay. On the day of her parole, Bill picks up Allison in his construction truck. Bill takes her to buy flowers and then to Lena's grave, where Allison places them. They go to a quiet place by the water, and Allison talks about how she loved Lena. But as soon as she moved in with her, she started dating other people and Allison felt used. She would like to see her again. They head to Virginie's where she makes them dinner. At the table, Allison asks if Bill and Virginie sleep together, which confuses Bill and they say no. Bill and Maya play together while Allison and Virginie chat. Allison says that Bill seems happy, but then warns Virginie to be careful, telling a story about how Bill let her mother's things get thrown out because he didn't pay for storage. She calls him a loser, just like she is. When Bill returns Allison to jail, she hugs him and tells him she is happy for him. Later, Bill gets a call and rushes to the hospital. Allison tried to hang herself. Virginie comforts him when he gets home, and the next morning, Maya sees them asleep in the same bed. After his recovery, Bill begins to visit her regularly in prison. Bill returns to his routine, spending a lot of time with Maya and even attending one of Virginie's plays, despite it being in French. Afterwards, they have dinner and both admit that they would like to continue their relationship. They end up sleeping together, and the next day, Maya notices their romantic behavior. Bill surprises Maya with tickets to a football game, and she is thrilled. At the game, Bill spots Akeem in the crowd. He follows Akeem into a restaurant, and Maya follows him. Once Maya falls asleep, Bill kidnaps Akeem, ties him up in the basement, and brings some of Akeem's hair to DeRosa for a DNA test. DeRosa is concerned that if Bill did something illegal, it could land him in jail instead of freeing his daughter. But Bill insists on doing the test. Maya learns about the man in the basement, and Bill tells her that he is a very bad person and asks her to keep it a secret. The DNA results come back a few days later, and Bill is stressed as he has to keep Akeem in the basement and feed him while he waits. When Bill checks on Akeem, he begs to be released, saying that he only did what Allison wanted. Akeem claims that Allison paid him with a gold necklace, and when he mentions that the necklace had Stillwater written on it, Bill is shocked. However, he tapes Akeem's mouth shut and leaves. Bill calls Sharon to ask if she had the Stillwater necklace he bought for Allison during the trial. But Sharon doesn't understand what he's talking about. The next day, Virginie sees DeRosa hanging around the apartment. He pretends to be a building inspector, asking if there were any noises or smells coming from the basement. Virginie is suspicious, but he leaves before she can question him. As he leaves, she looks at the basement door. Bill picks Maya up from school, and she asks if he's going to kill the bad guy. Bill, horrified, assures her that he would never do that, and would never let her or her mother be harmed. When they return home, they are immediately surrounded by the police, who take Maya away and force Bill to open the basement. Bill expects to be caught, but the basement is empty. Upstairs in the apartment, the police interrogate Bill, Virginie, and Maya. The lead investigator asks Maya when she was last in the basement, and Maya lies, saying it was yesterday. The investigator warns her not to lie and threatens to arrest Bill, but Maya sticks to her story and the police leave. Virginie, who has let Akeem go, sends Maya to her room and demands the truth from Bill. He confesses everything, including how he saw Akeem at the game and that Maya was with him. Virginie tells Bill he must leave immediately. Bill says he never wanted to involve them and begs Virginie, but she insists he leave. Bill tries to say goodbye to Maya, but she will not speak to him. He packs his things and Virginie brings Maya to say goodbye. They hug and cry. Bill returns to the hotel and Leppert calls him for a meeting. She tells him that DNA evidence match both the crime scene and the recent break-in, and the investigation is back open, which is great news for Allison. Allison is released and gets Lena's name tattooed on her wrist. They return to Stillwater, where the town throws a celebration for Allison's return and exoneration. After the party, Bill asks Allison if she remembers the Stillwater necklace he gave her. She cries and admits that she gave it to AQIM, but only to kick Lena out of her apartment, not to kill her. She cries, asking if he hates her, and Bill assures her that he could never hate her. She is his daughter. Later, they sit on the porch, and Allison says she can't believe everything looks the same. Bill disagrees, saying everything looks completely different to him now.